been unceremoniously knocked out of this tournament. But that's okay because it frees up more of my time to commentate these races, and I mean, we need the commentators. It's a big deal, because honestly, I keep having to fill in a lot of spots. If you know how to play the game and you're okay with talking on camera for about an hour or 2 hours, please talk to one of the SpeedGaming mods, or Can't Even, or somebody else in the Portal 2 Discord server. Our runners here, Carden and tobyaaa. Carden, a promising runner, having a shot at some of the later rounds. Toby, of course, I believe this is one of the rounds that he ended up winning by default, due to unforeseen circumstances beyond our control. Of course, this should make for an interesting matchup, just because of the variability in strats. It's going to let me talk about a lot more interesting strats here. And notice Carden grabbing that portal gun off the steps there. That's just because of the range we have and the fact that we are able to grab it. Saves a couple of seconds walking up the stairs, and also the fact that he went very, very fast down that corridor. Same thing with Toby, although albeit slightly slower than Carden here. Coming down that corridor really, really fast by using a piece of angled geometry and hopping at the back half of that fall. Carden heading into Smooth Jazz. The ever-elusive good Smooth Jazz awaits many runners, but it looks like Carden managed to get one here. Toby keeping some steady pace, going into Smooth Jazz just as Carden's going out of it. I do not know Carden's FOV setting. We'll have to ask him later. Right now, it does look like it's a little bit above 90, but we'll see about that. I think it looks a little wide, but I can still see the game fine. It does look like Carden has the lights turned on for most of these maps. I can't really tell if that's just the ambient lighting or if he's just disabled shadows, or what else is happening. Carden getting that portal standoff. Toby, of course, doing the same trick, because these are the 2 maps in a row where you do essentially the same trick, a portal stand with yourself and a portal stand with the cube, to get it onto a target button at a time. Of course, Carden nailing it and getting this bunny hop across the ledge, and just going to try and do the button glitch here. Of course, the button glitch works simply because when we press a button for just 1 tick and only 1 tick, it stays active, so we can keep the platform up top, which you'll notice is closed right now, but soon will be open on Toby's screen, and the door, also controlled by that button, will then be opened free for us to fling to. Both of our runners going into different maps at the same time. Carden heading into Wake Up here, where we can helpfully skip a gigantic cutscene that spends about 90 seconds pandering to us about telling the story of Portal 1. And Toby heading into Secret Panel, where you'll note he just skipped that other Wheatley section, where of course you can do a default route, and it is kind of fast. But you do save 10 seconds even over that, and you save 45 seconds over the default route from full game, skipping that whole corridor, just going through there. In full game, of course, we have pancake skip, where we shoot through a door that's there, and in this mod, we just remove the doors because they're inefficient and slow. Toby grabbing the hoop for legacy reasons, of course. If you don't get Hoopy the Hoop, the most important character in the Portal 2 cinematic universe, you do have to reset your run. Unfortunately, Carden not actually obeying that rule. Toby heading into the back half of Wake Up here, and Carden just exiting Incinerator after not getting the Incinerator entrance that he might have wanted, but heading into the first half of Chapter 2 without a lot of problems to his name. Toby looks like he was trying for that Incinerator strat, but doesn't seem to have gotten it. Carden getting a pretty good laser intro, getting that fling first try. Gonna go into laser stairs here, and we'll see if he has a laser stairs moment. Looks like he's gonna be quite all right though, getting that cube fling right away, and Toby making that portal shot around the back of Incinerator. Just making sure he can walk over those panels, which have collision, because Valve thought it would be a good idea to have those panels have collision. Carden heading into dual lasers here with the laser switch glitch, which of course works because one laser receptor is if one laser receptor is active and another is activated with the same laser. Both of those when laser receptors stop being active, there's about a 3-tick window where they are active at the same time, even though there's not a laser on them. So what's going to happen is both of those will be active at the same time for just a short little while, and it's a short enough while that when you press up against a door in this game, the door doesn't want to squish you, and so it doesn't. It lets you right on through if you're pressing against it. Of course, it's important to note in co-op that is actually an intended mechanic, you squishing your friends in doors. I'm sure a lot of people have congruent experiences of that. Toby having a little bit of struggles in laser intro, but it looks like he's doing okay. Do load times factor into these races? No, Bacon Pie, they do not. They're timing without loads. Of course, they can time with loads, RTA, but it is, of course, more time, and if we time, and we time game time because it's more efficient. We have a program called Source Auto Record that can help us time just the gameplay and not the loads. Carden heading out of Trust Fling right now, and Toby hitting laser stairs again with a little bit of trouble with for both of them, but Carden nailing it as far as the eye can see. Toby heading into dual lasers here, looking like he's gonna end up doing the switch glitch just for something to do, and of course just for something to do is a bit of an understatement. There's it's a really useful strat, because otherwise you have to do the default route, which again only saves you like 5-6 seconds, but it's a big deal. Carden, you'll note he just came out of pit flings and is going to shoot under these panels to get the laser into where it's supposed to be before anyone else on the planet can. Toby looks like he's going to be waiting for the panel to show up here, or he's going to do the cube hop shown right here. Gonna stand on some level geometry here. Of course, that pit fling strat that I wanted to talk about, I'm sure Toby will do it, so I'll have a chance to talk about it later. Carden in catapult intro right now, doing the back half, a little bit of a more complicated strat on his end, but works that out right as he finishes. Wait, that's not catapult intro. What am I talking about? Ceiling catapult. Carden heading into yeah. Ceiling catapult intro. The intro to ceiling catapult. Carden going for panel fling here. Looks like he gets it first try and almost nails that cube throw. I'd love to see that happen first try. I don't see it a lot, but Toby heading into Trust Flings looks like he's going to do the circle jump around the backside as well. And he gets it first try. Again, a little bit more of a complicated movement there. Not recommended for like beginner runners, but of course, if you can do a moderate circle jump, you could probably do that strat. Carden and bridge intro right now. Gonna just jump over this gap here. It's a little bit faster than falling, but also just gonna portal over again a little bit faster than portaling over the default method. Yes, Toby is a legend, so he can do it. Give Toby Legends rank. Toby actually going to do triple reportal here, or going to attempt to do triple reportal, and not the super reportal I was going to talk about earlier. Triple reportal, a pretty useful strat for runners, especially when we're talking about absolute speed through chambers, but also it looks like he's going to miss that third reportal, which is the key to having 3 reportals. Looks like he's going to have a little bit of trouble, but He should get out of it fine. Carden heading into his turret intro right after he does the good bridge the gap strat. Gonna use the portals for instant travel. Of course, in the original portal, we did have a little bit of trouble. Looks like he missed the cube and doesn't have it on his way back into the back half here. Looks like he's getting that cube stuck on a camera of some sorts. But otherwise nailing it through and gonna use the portals for instant travel again. But looks like he's gonna go in the wrong spot. Is he gonna make it alive? He's not gonna make it alive. Gonna have to head to the door one more time. And Toby, of course, gonna make up some time in Fizzler intro. Looks like he's in the green on splits, but you know, who knows how long that will last, or if it will last, because the Portal 2 Speedrun mod is a vile creature that cannot be trusted. Carden looks like he's gonna go for the laser switch glitch in laser relays here. But a more complicated version, seemingly. Of course, gets it second try. The obvious frustration on his mouse movements, visible there. But gets it. Going into turret blocker. Of course, going to use the damage boost to get him across. It's a little bit faster than the reportal you can do to do the exact same movement. Of course, the reportal a little less consistent and the damage boost a little more dangerous, because you can die if you do it wrong, but it's a lot easier to do once you learn it. To be heading into Ricochet as his timer crosses the 10-minute mark. We'll be able to see Carden do laser versus turret, one of the few maps where you're pretty much supposed to do what you're supposed to, but fast. If you have good movement there, world record is free. Toby, of course, going to go for panel fling, and we saw him practicing this earlier in the stream warm-up, but and it looks like he might have it consistent here, but he looks like he's gonna miss it. This is just the second try. Carden heading into Pull the Rug, the second map in a row where you're really not supposed to do much of anything except the intended route. There's a couple of optimizations where you could fling the cube on top onto that bridge, but of course there's really no need if it's that dangerous, and it's only gonna save you about half a second. Toby heading into bridge intro might end up doing a more interesting stat here. Carden doing column blocker and looking for that 3-second cube grab, but it looks like he's not getting it quite the time he expected. Looks like he's gonna have a little bit of trouble. Grabs that second cube, and that second cube's gonna land a little bit outside. But it looks like he's gonna do the slightly faster reportal, circle jump reportal route, and actually dies in the poisonous goo. Toby heading out of bridge intro, relatively unscathed. Doesn't look like he died. Carden almost not making that reportal strat, but making it work anyway. Carden, unfortunately, dying in the goo a second time to here, and having to do it again, dying in the goo a third time, and having to load a save here. Really having a little bit of trouble with that circle jump reportal. Looks like he's just going to bunny hop his way across and solve the test the normal way. Toby doing a rather default route, bridge the gap, but it's not a lot slower than the faster bridge the gap route, especially when you jump down here like that. I have not seen that done in a little bit. Again, it's worth noting how inventive strats come from smaller runners like Toby, because of course the good runners stick to the status quo and they just have their route, and Toby, an inventor, puts together a route that no one's ever seen before. Of course, doing the portals in intro, actually having the cube on the first try, not actually going to run in with the cube in his head, going to use the portals for instant travel again to get to that door really fast. Toby is, to Lethal's point, a little bit shaky, but I think it's because he went to the bathroom earlier. We said bathroom strat does make you a little bit shaky. You'll notice what Carden just did was the triple laser switch glitch, where we have to have all three of those active at once to open the door that we're pressing against. But of course he's going to go into the behind the scenes, which are largely bunny hopping based maps. relatively quickly here. Toby looks like he's going to be doing the laser relay switch glitch and having a little trouble the first time. Carden portaling over so that that bridge appears a little bit faster than usual. But Toby doing just fine. It looks like he's still ahead of his splits, and Carden actually looks like he's behind his. Carden, of course, getting that stair hop, no problem. Completely ignoring that bridge and actually strafing a little bit too hard and getting speed locked, but heading into escape just as fast as he came into it. Toby heading out of column blocker. You'll notice he also did that damage boost reportal thing. Again, same place, same kind of movement. Carden actually going to go for the exceptionally gamer go around this invisible wall strategy. You can't see it in game, but there is actually a wall there that prevents you from jumping over that, so you do have to strafe around it a little bit. You'll notice he's speed wall strafing, one of the fastest methods to walk around in the game. In full game, we do have flashlight skip here, which would save about a minute in full game, but since we already get the flashlight and it's speedrun mod, we get to go to the bunny hopping section and movement section of Turret Factory right away. So we're just finishing out Laser vs. Turret. Again, pretty much the same map every time. There's nothing really too interesting about it, and of course it's going to head into pull the rug, which is a pretty default route map. Carden looks like he got a bad panel cycle, but it's okay because he's walking on this rail that carries the panels. Looks he's going to go to the right around all of these little tubes and make his way speedily to the portaling and instant travel section and towards the back end of Turret Factory. So he'll be entering pull the rug, missing that portal once, but that's okay. He's got time, of course, and getting that cube in there, but that portal was a little bit too high, so it wasn't blocking the laser, but he fixed that right away, and he's heading to the end of pull the rug right about now. Carden heading into the first half of Turret Sabotage. Of course, a little bit of bunny hopping here, and then you'll see a little bit of RNG, but not too much. Of course, it is a common misconception that we removed all the RNG by having all of these turrets be defective turrets, the ones that you need to complete the level quickly. But if you don't do it quickly, the RNG is still there, where the entire map is cycle-based. So if you aren't quick about it, you do end up having a delay in turret grab. Lex is gonna fling that turret, grab another one, go to the end, and wait for this door to open. Looks like he was gonna try and get a portal down around to the other side to make it just that much faster, but looks like he missed that and just opted to go through the door. Totally finishing out column blocker, where Jerry Skip is being performed right now. See, look, there it goes. In full game, Jerry Skip saves about 30 seconds of dialogue, but of course this is speedrun mod and we can't have that, so we don't have that. It's a pretty fun strat. Toby actually looking like he's going to go for the more restricted strat, or a slightly faster default route, rather. Of course, as much optimization as you can in laser chaining, because every millisecond counts in this ridiculous map. Or if we have audio for streams. I realized I've been commentating for long enough that I haven't noticed if we have audio for either Twitch stream here. Looks like audio may be unknown for all of them, and we'll check that. But not sure if we have full sound for either game here, which just gives me an invitation to keep talking about the gameplay. Toby heading into the behind-the-scenes sections with Escape, and Carden heading out of Core, the last map in Chapter 5. course, performing elevator skip professionally here in full game. That saves about 2.5 minutes, but in this mod, of course, we just have that 2 minutes of time save built in. Heading into Underground, of course, another largely movement-based map. You'll see a couple of very long portal shots here with utilizing the zoom feature, which it conveniently tells you about later in that map, but we know about it because we are gamers. Carden doing a little bit of a peek portal, and gonna jump on top of this sign and on top of this debris so that he can make this very, very long shot. When he's zoomed, I'm noticing his portal gun is in the top left corner of his screen. Not something you see with everyday runners. Certainly something unique to Carden, if it hasn't been done already. Looking at that door skip, of course, it's big old door skip. We have door skip in regular full games, so we have to give it a different name for Speedrun mod. Jumping on that rail into Cave Johnson, looks like he's going to go for the Cave Johnson reportal here. Of course, that saves a couple seconds over going into the elevator here if you get it first try. Otherwise, if you fail it once, it's roughly on par. Of course, during full game, if you do this reportal right, it is incredible how much time save you get because that elevator is just so wretchedly slow in full game. Of course, that is why we made the speedrun mod, but, you know. Thank you, Kersey, for making the speedrun mod. By the way, in case no one's thanked you for it yet, here's your thanks. Thank you, Kersey. Carden looks like he's doing the repulsion intro route optimization, but actually falling off the rail, unfortunately. You hate to see it. But heading into repulsion intro just fine the second try around. I saw earlier he might try for Cube Clip Jr., but first you have to do this button stick. The door looks like it's staying open, of course, more visible here, but he does have to get this cube to try and go for Cube Clip. This is a glitch performed, essentially the source engine is good, and it clips you down into that level. Of course, just gotta disintegrate that cube after Cube Clip Junior doesn't work incredibly well. Gonna go for the really fun repulsion intro strat, but crouching a little bit too far in here. Of course, getting it third try around, so it would still be faster than the default route if we had gotten Cube Clip. Of course, not enough gel on that side panel, unfortunately. Again, you hate to see it. The elusive good repulsion intro evading Carden for about the millionth time in his speedrunning career, but managing it about the fourth or fifth try. Toby heading into Turret Factory just as, or Turret Sabotage rather, just as his timer crosses the 20-minute mark. I can't exactly see the second number in Carden's timer. I think it's a 1, but I can't exactly be sure because of the lighting in there, and the way that he has his graphics on his live split. Of course, gonna go for the less interesting bomb flings route. With that fling in there, but you'll note it just spews out. I think the number is about 5 gel blobs a second, which gives you ample time to just fall down, grab one out of thin air, and do it, and get the gel to where it needs to be. Toby looks like he's actually going to go for the turret sabotage pancake shot, which I don't see from a lot of runners. Of course, getting a defective turret and putting it into the door faster than this strategy. Faster than this strategy. And this pancake skip only faster if you do it the first try, which I think Toby did, but I was too busy focusing on Carden's screen where he's doing this crazy box stuck launch strat that he unfortunately has missed the first time around, but looks like he might get enough momentum the second try. Unfortunately, hitting that pipe. Gonna look for a third try on this stuck launch, but looks like he's just not getting enough height. Of course, this stuck launch game gives you momentum based on how long you've been falling, not how far you've been falling. So we use that to our advantage with getting stuck on level geometry. When you have gel below you like that, if you whatever momentum you gain and go downwards with it, you go immediately back upwards with once you hit the gel because of the properties of physics. Of course, nails it. First try, of course. After much struggling, first try. Heading into potatoes rather, into the back half, and gotta do the fling for potato skip in the full game, but we don't actually get the potato until 3 gels when it has to start talking. Looks like he's gonna get the gamer version of that fling where you bunny hop through that little gate. And it looks like he's going to go for the circle jump reportal here as well. Zoomed in, shooting that portal right through a little tiny gap, where you can shoot through. Looks like he's going to get that circle jump reportal first try, which means he's going to go right into prop flings behind his splits. It looks like, but again, I can't tell because of the I don't know how his colors are formatted. Looks like he's going to get a decent prop flings though. He's got the setup right and he looks like he's scrolled enough. Goes right into the elevator, no problem. Toby heading into core at 22:30 pace. Not unreasonable at all to see. Carden heading into conversion intro here, where we will see there's a couple different routes you can do. I doubt we'll see lemon skip here, which is the super reportal that skips the entire rest of the map. But of course, it doesn't save much time in speedrun mod because of course you're basically skipping a fast elevator, which you'll see quite soon here, and a reportal, which you'll see almost immediately after that. Because this elevator is very fast now that we've put it into speedrun mod, and of course this reportal makes it first try. Does have to strafe a little bit to get there, but of course making his way downtown, walking fast, faces pass, and he is bound for 3 gels. Zoomed in again, gonna make this long shot up this elevator shaft, portaling down to the bottom, gonna actually try to get this hop, and successfully does off the elevator. Almost misses portal on the second fling, but gets funneling to work on the second go. Toby gonna go for this longer shot, down here, but it looks like he gets it. Not sure why he reloaded the save, but you know, some mysteries are best left unsolved. There's Toby looking like he's gonna do this door skip as well. And Carden doing the first stuck launch in 3 gels, gaining about 2100 units of momentum. Shooting a portal up top and going right back down. Of course, the fastest way to do it. And then heading right into tube bound, so the tubes are conveniently already here. This, of course, works because there's blue gel in that tube to the right that you'll notice he's bouncing off of. And moving forward into that, and looking at a specific subset of angles. Of course, it doesn't work at some angles, but it works at most angles. You could just bounce off of it and go right up the way. So going out of 3 gels at 26:40 pace, looks like he might end up in chapter 8 before the 27-minute mark hits, which again, not at all unreasonable to see. To be crossing 25 as he unfortunately falls off that little barrier. This is where we make the reportal shot. Of course, he's gonna end up going for this reportal, I think, or just going up for the elevator. Of course, that is a strategy you can use. You can just go there, go up to there for the elevator. Carden putting a cube on the button and the door's already open, and normally there's a panel that stops you from going through there for about a minute, but we removed that panel because it's speedrun mod. So then going into the back end of test, of course this door already opened for us. Toby heading out of Cave Johnson after successfully completing that reportal. or what I assume was a successful completion of that reportal, as Carden heads out of test for the second time, and goes on to what will hopefully be a flawless Chapter 8. He's getting a crouch fly in this chamber, or so it's going to end up being rather interesting. Toby looking for this button stick as well. Carden getting a standing crouch fly, which he's going to keep for the next couple of chambers, which is going to be extremely helpful, especially when talking about the upcoming 3 chambers, because we do keep it throughout, and if you don't have crouch fly, it does make each test chamber on average about 25 seconds slower. Gonna do an interesting little strafe there, and you'll note he put a cube on top of his head to relegate his downwards momentum. Of course, when you have crouch fly, you cannot change your vertical height unless you are using level geometry or an object that you drop on your head. It makes for some really really fun gameplay strategies. Kind of into wall button here. Looks like no problems getting to the first half. We'll see how he does with this cube throw. Doing the safer route. Of course, having the cube inside that funnel just keeps it there and makes sure we don't have to press against that door too hard. Toby gonna shoot right through that emancipation grill. But just going to go through to the second part of Repulsion Intro almost immediately here. Looks like he's going to be going for the older scaffolding strat. His gel spread isn't great on the bottom part of that. I unfortunately loading a worse save than I think you would have imagined. Of course, Carden going for a great shot here. Aptly named because you shoot a great. Almost missing that cube. Fortunately for him, landing that cube throw and grabbing that cube just after it took off of the faceplate. It's a little bit faster way to do funnel catch, but of course you can do funnel catch default route, and it is nearly as fast, if not faster, if you do a fast default route funnel catch. In this mod, of course. In full game, great shots way faster. Carden looking like he's gonna go and successfully get the second crouch fly of Chapter 8 here. Looks like he's gonna do it with no problem. Of course, using this pipe to relegate his downward momentum again. It's interesting to see if you're a newer entrant to the game, just how we do relegate our downwards momentum in such interesting ways. Toby looks like he was gonna go for the more interesting fling, but just hits the button and is just gonna go for the regular fling again, just making sure he can get that button in. Of course, that is the important part. Carden using his second crouch fly to complete laser platform faster than you would without. Of course, that cube not really turning in the right direction, but getting it there eventually. You'll notice the funnels here go 15,000 miles an hour, and it looks like Carden's actually gonna go for a strat we like to call chocolate milkshake. Gets the darker version of chocolate milkshake, but it's unclear. It looks like he just died. I was gonna say it's unclear whether or not he made it to that level load trigger inside the boxes. And it looks like he's got it second try. Toby heading into Crazy Box. Looks like he's gonna do this little fling onto the speaker. Of course, a little bit of strafing required, but you can just make the shot all the way over to the second part. Of course, you'll notice the stuck launch strat that Carden displayed earlier in Crazy Box. That does skip both parts of Crazy Box. You skip the second part as well that Toby's about to go into. But the second part is also, in my opinion, the easier part. Of course, Carden lost his crouch fly, getting it again. Or not, depending on who you ask. Gonna try and get his crouch fly again so that we can finish repulsion polarity as fast as possible. Of course, we are going to lose it purposefully at the end of this, because the faster routes enabled in Speedrun mod are enable us to go faster through finale 1 and half of finale 2 without crouch fly, because the funnels go 15,000 miles an hour, and normally we would be skipping that entire thing. Important to note, on twitch.tv/SpeedGaming2, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, the 100% tournament that they're having, that's happening right now live over there if you want to go catch that, or if you want to stick around for more fun gaming Portal 2 action. We will be here watching Carden successfully complete the first half of Finale 1, and Toby unfortunately missing the first portal here, but looks like he's going to use that massive portal helper to help him portal. He gets across the other side, second try, no problem. Of course, Carden still doesn't have crouch fly, heading into Finale 2. Of course, the game does actually get really quiet here. That it wouldn't be just the stream, but it unfortunately is the stream this time. Toby gonna go for a potato fling and gets through the gate just as fast as he entered it. Carden gonna start doing this interesting Finale 2 crouch fly, of course, involving a reportal and a standing crouch fly for this side of the room. Again, more dangerous for this setup if you don't knock over the turrets beforehand, but if you don't knock over the turrets beforehand, that's 2-3 seconds. And for Carden, who is an advanced runner, that's 2 or 3 seconds he can afford to save if it's relatively consistent. Looks like he's gonna do the stair drop here. Of course, bonking his head on the light, and again relegating his downwards momentum through that level geometry. There's an upside down triangle. Gonna portal around here for again instant travel, and heading into Finale 3 with a 34-27. Where I think I'll note. I think that's around where his PB is. But gonna do this this back end of Finale 3 absolutely zero problem. Of course, there's a little bit of level geometry there, where you can bonk your head off, and then there's a little bit of solid wall there that you can clip yourself on. So Carden heading into Finale 4, where we'll see what kind of interesting boss fight strats he'll use. Toby heading into Conversion Intro. Which again, a lot of routes you could do. I highly suspect he'll do the route that we saw Toby illustrate earlier, with this stair hop. Of course, coming around and shooting that portal towards the back end. Again, for instant travel, we use the portals a lot for instant travel. It's just easier. Looks like Carden got first core off. I wasn't sure if he had actually triggered the bombs or not. Toby going into the second half of Conversion Intro. Looks like he might end up doing this reportal. Yep. Looks like it's reportal time for Toby. And failing that, which it looks like he didn't do. Congratulations to Toby, who is being an absolute gamer in this run. Got the reportal first try, and just did an extra little safety fling, which I completely respect. Carden just getting the fact core with this helpful little fling that he's got here, and then he's just going to go for early moonshot. If he doesn't get it, we will let you know. Toby heading into the back half of Conversion Intro, so heading into 3 gels at 33-38. Of course, getting that hop off the elevator does save you a little bit of time, and getting the fling right up here to the side is faster than not. Looks like Carden ended up with a 36-35, and we should see some audio coming in from Carden. He's just updated me that he believes his stream was muted, so we'll see about that. Toby's of course going to go for the stuck launch here in 3 gels. While Carden was going to watch the credits, or is going to watch the credits rather, Toby looks like he went a little too close on that 3 gel stuck launch, but nailed it just fine. Got that portal lid. Looks like he's gonna go for 2 bounce, but unfortunately misses. The tube's gonna fall down as the credits do finally roll on Carden's screen. Looks like Toby's got a weird angle into his 2 bounce, bouncing out of the wrong way. Of course, you do have to look straight at the tube to have it work, and a little bit of key mashing is necessary sometimes. Chris, Toby getting it. Maybe the 4th or 5th try there. Completely respectable. Of course, the elevator is in this mod at the very least nearly as fast, if not faster, than a tube bounce that is anywhere near average. Of course, heading out of 3 gels now, as we look at the title screen on Carden's screen, where we will for the rest of Toby's chapter 8 and 9. But Toby heading into the first half of test looks like he's gonna have no problem maneuvering through these little bridges.
Let's get started. This first test involves something.
Looks like we're gonna get audio from Carden right now, but at least we do have audio of Repulsion intro. Looks like he's gonna be practicing Cube Clip Junior and that button stick. As Toby goes into the second half of test, looks like he's not gonna have any issues going through that. And finally, we can switch the audio to tobyaas. Apparently, as it turns out, the audio was just never set up in the SpeedGaming 3 control panel, so I've just went and done that. So if the runners do elect to have a second race, we will hear audio at least from them.
It's alright, everything's good, I just invented some more tests.
This is one of my tests.
Not entirely. Look at the word test there on the wall, that's brand new. Oh, wow. Well done. Seriously, both of you. Why don't you two go on ahead, yeah?
Of course, as we look at Toby's Chapter 8 and Chapter 9 runs here, this is your seemingly hourly reminder, although I know it's only been 45 minutes since the top of the hour. It has been an hour since this stream began. So I'm gonna give you your seemingly hourly reminder to drink some water and make sure to follow the runners on Twitch as well as the commentator myself down on Twitch. Where I will give you more details at the end of the stream on what I've been doing over there, what the streamers have been doing over there, once we get all the runners in for a post-game interview, where I have to remember to mark Carden done.
I know we're in a lot of trouble and probably about to die. I thought of some good news. He's going to run out of test chambers eventually. I never stopped.
I'm coming, don't start yet. You are not going to believe this. I found a sealed off wing, hundreds of perfectly good test chambers, just sitting there, filled with skeletons, shook them out. Good.
Unfortunately, the ground not really letting Toby in, but gonna get that cube through to wall button, no problem. Gonna have to crouch a little bit and walk into the cube rather. Of course, the Franken turrets are like really weird. The Franken cubes, they're really weird. This is the strat I've been talking about for ages. It's so interesting.
Here we go.
I like watching it every single time, and without fail, it makes me excited when it works. Of course, not the it's no cube throw, but it works real well, and
Alright, so
it
that
seems to
last
be
test
as
was
fast
sheer disappointment. Apparently
as the
being
cube throw
silly
anyway.
isn't motivating you.
Of course, Toby heading through polarity, no problem. Of course, with that crouch
Why in
fly, it
such
makes
a
it really
world,
really easy,
why
so you
can't
can
you
just
solve
skip
a
the
simple
entire test
test?
chamber.
I might have pushed that moron thing a little. Now he's playing classical music.
Oh, sorry. Hope that didn't disturb you too much then. It was the sound of books, pages being turned. So that's just what I was doing, just reading books. So not a moron. Anyway, just finished the last one, just now, the hardest one, Machiavelli. Do not know what all the fuss was about. Understood it perfectly. Have you read that one?
Yes.
Yeah, doubt it. Well, on with the test. Oh, what was that? That was nothing. That was
Got a funnel
nothing.
catch. Of course, did it reasonably quickly. As is expected of Toby. I mean, he's pretty good at funnel catch. And chapter 8 in general looks like, because he's going to be
Don't mind
going
me,
into
just
stop
moving
the
your
box
test a
here,
little bit closer
and
to
it's going to be
me.
going for the fling
Thanks,
strat.
maybe
As
not
I mean,
smashing
as
through
I
the
like to
test
call, I don't know
chamber,
what it's
but
actually called.
give
It's like
us
the
a
faith
little
plate
bit
strat or whatever, something like that.
Oh, sorry, could have sworn you said something.
He's taking us right to him. This is perfect.
Are you absolutely sure?
Looks like he's going to be doing the hop on the back end as well. A little bit faster than portaling up. Of course, gets that circle jump third try. Completely reasonable for a runner with his stature. And of course, going to head into the elevator that is already waiting here. As his timer crosses the 40-minute mark, just to show some reference to where his time is. Of course, you can observe as he looks like he's gonna get second crouch fly here. And judging from his split colors, it looks like he is actually ahead of his splits, which means we may see a PB run from Toby today. Again, gonna use that pipe for some downwards momentum. It works every time. There is a slightly easier method, but also a slightly slower method. You can drive yourself into the ceiling and fly along there a little bit before hitting the pipe that's attached to the ceiling to work it out. Of course, laser platform, again, very easy. Double pressing that button to make sure that he doesn't miss this cube, because it is incredibly difficult to get the cube the first try, and so I respect the initial button press. Toby looks like he's going to be kicking the cube around a little bit, but it does work out. And Toby heading into this funnel, looks like he is going to do the default route, but it also is pretty fast, only about 4 to 5, maybe 6, 7 seconds slower than Chocolate Milkshake. Which again was the strat where where you head out of that funnel in a seemingly random direction, bunny hop a little bit, and go blind for about 7-8 seconds.
You, obviously. Who else would I be doing it for? No one.
Toby looks like he's going to be doing a more full game based route through prop catch here. Gonna use that crouch fly. Doesn't look like he has a lot of upwards momentum. I'd say be careful to make sure he doesn't get stuck on those fences. But looks like he clears those just fine. Makes it to the end, no problem. Because a little bit of crouch fly never hurt nobody.
Only 3 more chambers to your big surprise.
Toby heading into the more interesting part of Chapter 8 and subsequently Chapter 9, really. Doing Repulsion Polarity looks like he's actually a little bit low for the enter, so he's going to have to try that again. Get it, but getting Crouch Fly here Pretty fun, the same way we do it in Finale 2 as well. Looks like he's actually not going to get that crouch off. His save might be a little unfortunate. Yeah, noticing he's not actually crouching in there, and we'll see if he gets that around. Otherwise, falling out of that funnel for the 4th time, gonna just end up redoing the save and the glitch here. Looks like he is high though, so looks like he's gonna make it here. Is gonna have to cancel his fly before he hits the door. You'll notice when Carden did it, he did fly right through the door and crouch in the elevator. Of course, that is the fastest way to do it, but it does not lose that much time to come across into what Toby just did with just the bunny hops on the back end. Of course, this does enable us to be a lot faster in this long corridor in Finale 1. Finale 1. With the trick test, of course, again, the funnels go 491 units a second, I believe. When everyone started running this game, of course, the default runners did have a little bit of an advantage in Chapter 9 because they do that anyway, because this is technically the default route for Finale 1. In full game, we would keep our crouch fly out of repulsion polarity, and keep it and put it through Finales 1, 2, and 3. Because in full game it saves time, but in this mode it does not. So we're getting into Finale 2 with a 44.26.5. Again, completely reasonable for where his splits are. It seems like he is in the red, as I saw the orange text pop up earlier. I do like the orange and blue schematic with that. Of course, you did see Carden do this already, but of course, again, pretty much Finale 2 default route for the first half. And then here's where things get interesting. Crossing 44.44. We're going to do this little rail hop. Unfortunately, missing that second jump. And again, I have to do that again from wherever his last save was. His loads are getting a little long. That's also unfortunate. You can see the obvious frustration in his mouse, making little squares and triangles on his GameStop. Taking extra care to avoid another load, just because of how slow that was. I'm gonna go through to the crouch fly here, and actually do the more dangerous route, and actually dying by the turrets. I think he would have made it out unscathed if he had. I think that was one bullet to completion there. Unfortunately, gonna have to do that all again, making it narrowly into that room. But of course, gonna get the crouch fly a second try, and gonna try his best to be quick in front of the turrets. Looks like he didn't actually get the crouch fly though, or he died to the turrets. One of the two. I can't figure that out, because I can't see the red. Looks like he didn't there. Oh, no, he did. He's gonna have to strafe against the wall or do a little bit of air strafing here. Looks like he makes it to the platform just fine. Gonna use that little bit of level geometry just to get himself to the correct level to do this upcoming strategy. Gonna bonk himself into here. Actually gonna go and do the harder, but I mean the easier version of the hard strat. This is the turret reset version of it, where you just wait for the turrets to reset so they can't shoot you while you do that. The one you saw Carden do is a, I believe a Zypay strat. That's a lot easier for beginning runners. Toby looks like no, he's done. I thought he might have slow fly for a little bit. But evidently not. He's gonna shoot the portal over there, going into Finale 4 and out of Finale 3. And just gonna end up doing a lot of cool velocity changes. Looks like he is going down, but he's gonna miss the panels there. Just gonna go for the floor instead. A little bit slower, but it'll do. Of course, bombs behind him, Bob's in front of him. So you do have to be careful a little bit at the back end of this.
Corrupted cores, we're in luck. You find a way to stun him, I'll send you a core, and then you attach it to him. If we do it a few times, he might become corrupt enough for another. Plug me in and look. Even if you think we're still enemies, we're enemies with a common interest. Revenge. You like revenge, right? Everybody likes revenge. Well, let's go.
So we're heading into finale 4 here. Of course, getting hit by the bomb, but the portal gel here helping a little bit. Carden giving some really good advice in chat for any young budding speedrunner or any professionals. Go fast.
Warning. Core corruption at 50%.
What happened?
Okay, great. Here comes another core.
We're gonna do a quick one bomb jaunt there, grabbing the Rick the Adventure Sphere. By the way, I've always wondered, does anyone know why it's called an Adventure Sphere and not an Adventure Core? Like you got Fact Core and you got Space Core, but you've got the Adventure Sphere. Just sounds cool. It's like an Indiana Jones type deal. I don't know.
Here's another core. This one should
So we're having a little bit of trouble with the third round of bombs here, but getting this fling off, no problem. Grabbing the cube, and it looks like Toby's gonna get a peek at early moonshot, and we'll see if he does it or not. Doesn't look like he got it, but that's gonna be a pretty quick recovery here on the back end. Of course, this now exactly an hour after it started, this race finished with a 48:51:68. By the look of it, he just PB'd by an amount of time. Looks like, looking at the match setup Discord, he just PB'd by 15 seconds. Congratulations to Toby. And so we're gonna ask the runners if they feel like doing a second race. Of course, that is up to Toby. I will hang out and remind you all to drink water. But if we don't need a second race, we will not have a second race. So I'll give Carden that extra point, and we will get runners in here for a post-race interview.
Hello.
Hi, Carden. What's going
Hi.
on?
Absolutely nothing. Just did a quick race, you know.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
What was the race on? I have no idea.
Portal 2 Speedrun mod. It's
Portal 2 Speed. I've
yeah,
never heard of it.
Yeah, no, Portal
Tell me
Speedrun,
about it.
Less painful.
Wait,
to
what's
speedrun. Yeah, it's yeah, no, that was okay. It was, well, no, not really, but it was enough. I at least got a sub 37. So
What did you nail? Like 36 something?
Yeah, it was like a 36, 30 something. I don't know. It's honestly, for how bad that run was, I'm amazed that I even got that. That was
Very cool.
pretty contentious at some points.
And of course, with us now in the commentary booth, we have Carden, who won this race, and Toby, who elected not to have a second one, thus giving a second point to Carden. Toby, how was that run for you? And congratulations on your PB.
Yeah, it was fine. I had the classic repulsion intro time loss.
Yes, good.
So,
I mean-
I did too.
I mean, it's to be expected, right? I mean, have you ever had a good Repulsion intro?
Absolutely not. No. Gets worse every run.
Yeah. That's same here.
You
The
just keep
cube clip
adding
was
time
bad,
save.
too. I had to give up on cube clip because that just wasn't working for some reason in race.
Yeah, and I noticed you practicing that earlier. Is that a new strat to you, or?
I mean, yeah, but it's one that I got consistent in like 5 minutes until really the race, and then I did
Until,
it
yeah,
again
race
after
time.
and then I did it again after I finished, and it was fine. So it was just tragic timing, really, with the cube clip on the race.
Do you think that might have been race anxiety, or?
No,
did
it's
you know?
not. Honestly, I think what happened, I don't really know exactly how the trick works. I think because I kind of glitched into the ground, but didn't go all the way through, and then
Yeah.
after that, because it's not a trick that like you have to do much for. You basically just drop the cube on your head, and it
Yeah,
kind
drop the cube in the
of
ground.
it's pretty self-working, but it
Yeah.
just wasn't happening. So I'm guessing I somehow broke the glitch. Finally,
It's just you went too fast.
I think I just like kind of got it, but then didn't, and then something went wrong. That's just my guess. I don't really know, but
Very
it's
cool.
weird because yeah, it's not something I expect to mess up as much as I did there.
Very cool. And then Toby, I noticed you had a rather interesting chapter 8.
Chapter 8, yeah. I mean, kind of stopped. I don't know. It was fine, I think.
Very cool.
Whole intro, I saved time because last race I lost time.
And were there moments in this race where you were red? I mean, there's got to be some, right?
Chapter 6, Chapter 7.
Chapter 6, yeah, okay.
Lanes, other classic.
Very cool. So, since we don't appear to have another match to do, and this stream is all but over, do you guys have any last words for the stream?
No, not really. Just Burger 40 is playing on Saturday, and that's going to be exciting. So
Oh yeah.
Anybody
yeah.
And Burger 40 is playing on Saturday against Can't Even.
yeah, that's
it-
going to
it-
be a landslide in Burger 40's
it's-
favor.
Yes, that's a Burger 40 race. No one has a question about it. Of course, I will be commentating that race along with the Vug. We'll be both on the good old commentary grind. But of
Yeah.
course, my final last words to the stream, if everyone's done here, make sure to follow the runners on Twitch, and make sure to follow me, the commentator, on Twitch. I will be live streaming later today the quest for sub Baster09, because I've needed an excuse to go sub 40 for a while, and now I have one. Of course, you can follow me on Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, Wikipedia, anywhere you can find a name that's named base driven. I'm at the Smashcast, DLive, anywhere you can imagine, I'm probably there. Make sure to check me out, make sure to check the runners out, and thank you to SpeedGaming for hosting us. We will see you later, SpeedGaming 3. It's been nice knowing you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.